This was not a series entrenched in history and rivalry, yet it had a lot going for it. The teams had beaten each other in the World 2021 siege. Pakistan had to prove to the world they belonged in Test cricket, and Sri Lanka were playing Test for the first time since the attack in Lahore last March. A measure of how well the teams had moved on was that Lahore did not crop up as a talking point during this series. Both teams were at a crossroads. Pakistan were getting used to Test cricket again. Sri Lanka were under a new captain and without two of their most successful bowlers, Muttiah Muralitharan and Chaminda Vaas. The veteran Mohammad Yusuf was making a comeback for Pakistan, and the 17-year-old prodigy Mohammad Amir was making his debut. The void left by Vaas was to be filled by Nuwan Kulasekara and Thilan Tushara, who Sri Lanka had trusted for the last year or so. Murali's last-minute replacement was the 31-year-old Rangana Herat, who made it to Galle past midnight on the eve of the first test. As the teams prepared for the series, the ICC's chief made a statement casting doubts on the feasibility of Test cricket. Given the circumstances, the series couldn't afford to be boring in the least. And it certainly wasn't on day one, when 12 wickets fell as Sri Lanka were bowled out for 292. Young Amir took a wicket in his first over like he had in the World 2020 when he got Malinda Warnapura to play on. His other two wickets in the innings were those of Kumar Sangakkara and Tilakaratne Dilshan. Yusuf was coming off a long layoff with only a couple of club games under his belt, but he went on to score a century. However, Kulasekara took 4 wickets and kept Pakistan's lead to 50. But after Amir took 3 more in the second innings, as did rookie off-spinner Saeed Ajmal, Pakistan had more than 2 days to chase 168. They went to stumps on day 3 needing 97 with 8 wickets in hand. But once Yusuf was trapped leg before by Herat in the second over of day 4, Pakistan's middle and lower orders simply crumbled. Herat took 4 for 15 and Sri Lanka won by 50 runs. Coming into the match, Sri Lanka had won just 3 tests in the absence of Murali since his debut. Between them, Mahela Jayawardene and Sangakkara managed just 53 runs in the test. Pakistan negotiated Ajanta Mendes in the first innings without incident, and he managed 2 for 27 in the second. It was Sri Lanka's 3 inexperienced bowlers who really made the difference. Sangakkara said the lack of experience was made up for by enthusiasm and the hunger to do well and stay in the side. The best thing about the win for Sri Lanka was that they now knew life after Murali would be alright. They went in unchanged for the second test in Colombo while Pakistan replaced out-of-form opener Salman Butt with Fawad Alam. It made little difference on day 1 when they were bundled out for 90. Kulasekara, Tushara and Angelo Matthews pitched it in the corridor, got movement in the air and off the pitch, and that combination was far too lethal for Pakistan's diffident top order. Umar Gul and Ajmal did well to keep Sri Lanka to 240, and then the top order set about repairing the first innings damage. Alam became the first Pakistan batsman to score an overseas century on debut and added 200 with Yunus Khan. But Kulasekara and Herat combined to trigger yet another collapse. The last 8 wickets fell for just 26 runs. And shortly before the end of the second session on day 3, Sri Lanka began their chase of 171 to take the series. 25.5 overs into session 3, and they had created history by winning a home series against Pakistan for the first time. Pakistan brought in Danish Kaneria in place of Abdur Rauf for the dead rubber at the SSC. Vaas replaced Mendes for his farewell test. But for a change, the batsmen had the final say. There were 5 firsts for Herat, Tushara and Kaneria, and in the end Sri Lanka batted out 5 sessions to hold on for a draw and a 2-0 result. Sangakkara became the first centurion for Sri Lanka in the series, his first as captain, and went on to lift the Mobitel Cup. For Pakistan, this was a series of unfulfilled promise. They lost 2 matches after getting to winning positions, but just couldn't sustain the good cricket for long enough. For Sri Lanka, the emotional post-series presentation ceremony was symbolic. Moments after Vaas was handed a memento and $1 million for his services to Sri Lankan cricket, Kulasekara received the Man of the Series trophy. Sri Lanka were getting used to life without their legends. Pakistan, meanwhile, were getting used to Test cricket again. With Siddharth Monga and Nishi Narayanan, this is Akhila Rangana for Cricinfo.
This is Cricinfo Talk.